before. I had a feeling this was right. Speeding down the 101. It's about 12:01.
Hey y'all, so I'm recording this video for the second time because the first time that I tried to record it did not go so well. So hopefully I stay in focus this time. And yeah, the topic for this chit chat get ready with me is just because the relationship failed doesn't mean that you're a failure. I'm going to be doing my makeup, talking to you guys, and I'm going to tell you guys what I'm using during my makeup process, and then also try to focus on talking to y'all. So yeah, let's get started. I'm excited. And yeah, so I'm going to start off by doing my eyebrows with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the color Ebony. As you guys can see, I pretty much have full thick eyebrows already, but I just like to fill in the ends, making the ends look like a little bit more fuller and thicker. So I was in a relationship or whatever, and that person decided that they no longer wanted to be in a relationship anymore. I know for me personally, I always feel like I can fix everything. I'm a fixer. In relationships, I really feel like it's really important to never give up, as far as like for me in my relationships. So I always will try to do everything and anything in my power to make it work. It's hard, especially when you're with a person for a good amount of time and y'all aren't just dating. Y'all are like best friends. Y'all talk every single day. Y'all always seeing each other and all that blah blah blah. The situation that I was in, I didn't necessarily see that coming. You know, things felt like they were going good and they were going great, and that's how it always is. Okay, so under my eyes I have the color Fawn. I don't really go on top of my eyes with that because it's a lot. I used to, and then I was just like, girl, that halo is not cute, so I stopped doing that. I don't know if it's a woman thing or if it's just a some woman thing or some people thing, but you're not just about to just be like, okay, cool. It's completely different. If you've never been in a relationship before, it's completely different not being in that and then being in one. Because not being in a relationship, I always thought like, if somebody doesn't want to be with me and I'm with them and they decide that they want to leave, like, go. But when you get in one, it's completely different because you actually spend all your time, all your efforts, all your energy into this person, especially if it's for more than 1 year. It's just like, oh no, like we about to sit down and try to work this out. One thing that I've learned is that you can't force something that's not supposed to be forced. And that's something that my father, like, that's something that me and my dad, we always say to each other. Like, whenever we're talking about life struggles or whatever, it's always like, you know, if it's supposed to happen, it'll happen, and if it's not, it's not gonna happen. And you trying to force that situation into happening is only destroying yourself. It's like you have a natural hair product, and the natural hair product smells so good. It smells so good, and it's just giving you good definition on your twist outs and braid outs. So you think that this product is popping, but this product is making your hair dry as hell, and it's not working. It's not working. And the more that you try to use it, the more dry your hair becomes. Next thing you know, your hair is falling out because it's so dry and lack of moisture. And that's basically how a relationship is when you're trying to force it into happening. It might have its good parts, it might have its ups, but it also has its downs, and its downs is outweighing the good, and it's just destroying you, and essentially you need to let it go. So I hope that that analogy made sense. Also understanding that breakups are a part of life. That isn't something that you'll be able to not encounter. That you're going to encounter that. That's part of life. And of course, talking about it and going through the motions are two completely different things. It takes a while to get to that point of feeling like, okay, I'm good and I don't need this person and I can live my life without them. Like, that doesn't come automatically, and anybody that tells you that that comes automatically is straight up lying to you. I'm not saying that it's going to take you like 50 million years to get over that person, because it may, for some people, it may take you 2 weeks, but it's most definitely not going to take you 1 second to get over that person. I'm about to put this NYX, it's a jumbo eye pencil. It's in the color cashmere. It's like a cute gold, and I'm just gonna put this all over my lid as my base. Like I said before, I'm a fixer, and so I feel like, especially if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I should be able to identify the issues and solve the problems and fix them. The problem with that is that, remember the saying, it takes two to tango. So if it takes two to tango, that means that you can't just be out there tangling, nay-naying, doing the shuffle, you know, all by yourself, because that's not, you're not in a relationship with yourself, you're in a relationship with somebody else. And so at the end of the day, there are problems and things of that nature that you feel like that are fixable and that you want to fix, but you can't fix them by yourself. You're getting yourself all worked up and you're in pain and your mind is going berserk, basically just going crazy, because it's like you can't control it. And so one of the things that's important to do is to be able to say, yes, I love this person, yes, I still care about this person, and yes, I want to try and make it work, but it's not going to work, and that's not going to happen, and you have to release it. I'm about to go into this color Nefertiti in this palette. It's like a really pretty gold bronzy color, kind of like a mustard. It's really beautiful. But I'm about to go into this one right here and put that on my lid. Even after you're putting all this energy and all this effort into making it work, at the end of the day, if that person doesn't want to make it work, it's not gonna work. And so once you're able to release that and let go of it and accept the fact that this is something that you cannot fix, then you're moving somewhere. We're making progress, and that's the first step to overcoming a breakup or a hard time that you're having with the person, is releasing the control that you once had over the situation and realizing that you no longer have that control in that situation, and that all of your efforts are like dead ends because it's not going to get you anywhere. And I had to learn the hard way. Take a step back and start thinking about you and thinking about what you want, what you love, what you want to have, your dreams, your aspirations, because the truth is that being young and being in a relationship is really hard and tough work. Really hard being in a relationship with somebody and maintaining your sense of self. And it may not be that hard if you're in the right relationship, but if you're not in the right relationship, that is really difficult, because you spend all this time trying to give this person this love, give this person this attention. They're always on your mind. You're always making sure that they're okay. You're always doing this. You're always doing that. And like unconsciously, without even realizing it, you come to a point where it's like, whoa, like what about Kyla? Like, who's taking care of Kyla? Like, I'm busy taking care of this person's needs, making sure this person's needs are met. And in an ideal relationship, that should be reciprocated. But sometimes it's not always that case. It's not always that case. It's not always reciprocated. And sometimes you'll find yourself in a point where it was like you kind of lost your sense of self without even trying to, or without even realizing. I'm gonna pack some more of this color on because this is a really pretty color and I really want it to show. But without even realizing it, you might find yourself in that situation. You need to be able to begin to practice self-love once again. And that is different because relationships change you. So after you've been in a relationship for a while and then you find yourself by yourself again, it's kind of like you're relearning yourself being by yourself. And it can be a beautiful thing, and it depends on how you look at it. In the midst of that practicing of self-love, you'll be able to maybe see your relationship from a different point of view. You're no longer in that situation, so when you're out of it, looking back, it's like, okay, I can see why that probably went the way that it did. I can see why I'm probably not really supposed to be with that person anymore. I can see why God stepped in and intervened in my life once again. Thank you. You know, that comes over time, but I feel like realizing that everything happens for a reason, and realizing that you're not meant to control everything, and realizing that just because your relationship failed doesn't mean that you're a failure. There's things that probably happened that were completely out of your control, that you didn't have any control over, and you did your part. You did everything that you could do, and sometimes things just don't work, and you try to figure out why, try to think about what you could have, would have, should have done differently. What the matter of fact is that obviously wasn't supposed to happen, because it's no longer here. Like, you no longer have that relationship, and it's okay, and that you'll live. Like, you'll continue to live forth, and you'll continue to live on, and life will keep getting better for you. You'll be okay, and that's the number one thing that I feel like it's important for people to understand who are going through breakups, is that you'll be okay. You will most definitely be okay. Trust me. It doesn't feel like you are. It feels like the world is like collapsing around you, but you will be okay. So I'm gonna take this next jumbo pencil again, and I'm gonna try to be cute, and I'm gonna try to put it like right here, but we'll see how that works. That's a little different. So I'm just gonna take this blending side of this brush and just blend that out a little bit so it's not so harsh. Some things that make me feel better in the midst of a breakup is going back to things that I loved doing before then that I might have forgotten. So for me, like, I love doing makeup. I love practicing my makeup. I love clothes. I love fashion. I love all of that stuff. I like to write sometimes, and now I have more time to do those types of things. So going back to the basics, part of like self-love is doing the things that you once loved to do by yourself. I'm going to apply my liner today, and for my liner today I'm going to use a blue liquid liner, and this is from Wet n Wild, and I really like this liner because it's nice and pigmented. It's like a light blue. You know, I'm going all out today, gonna be looking cute and fancy, so I'm gonna apply this liner, but I'm not about to talk while I apply this liner, because I know for a fact, actually I'm about to apply this liner off camera because y'all not about to. Okay, so I put on this blue liner and I put on some mascara. I actually need to start wearing lashes, y'all, but I'm a little nervous too. I'm not really about that life right now. So right now I'm just going to put my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, oil-free, pore minimizing, and this is the travel size. I got this at whatchamacallit, Sephora. It was $13 for this small ass size, but I don't use a lot, and I don't use this every time I wear makeup. I'm trying to get into wearing primers more consistently. I'm gonna go on top of that with my Sephora foundation in the color Deep 55 Cocoa, and this is like a really good match for my skin tone too, and this wasn't expensive. This was only $20. As you can see, like, I actually use this quite frequently because I'm halfway done. I would get another one of these. I would also get the powder too, but back to what we were saying. I feel like you need to know, like, it's important to know that, you know, somebody leaving you doesn't define your worth. That doesn't define your value. That doesn't define who you are as a person. Because you couldn't fix that situation, that doesn't make you a failure. That doesn't mean that you're a bad person. That just means that it was just time for that to end. And one thing that's important to know about life is that when something ends, there's always a beginning following it. Like, think about it. You ended college, when you ended high school or middle school or whatever school you ended, there was always a new beginning after that. You were always starting something new. So you ended high school, but after high school you were either beginning college or or you beginning the workforce, or you beginning just chilling in your parents' home. But the point is that you was beginning something after that. And I feel like that's what you always have to remember. You always have to keep in mind is that yes, this is the end of a relationship. This is the end of something that you might have thought was going to last forever, and it's not anymore. But it's the beginning of something new. And sometimes you get to choose what that beginning is, and sometimes that new beginning is forced on you. But either way, you have to, life is what you make of it. So you can either stay in your sadness, you can either stay stuck, or you can decide for yourself that you're going to do better, that you want better, that this isn't the life that you want, you know? And it may be hard because you saw your life around this one person, and now you have to rework it. But rework it, girl. You got this. You got the tools. You made it this far on your own. You was living before you met that person. So I guarantee that you're going to continue living now that they're gone. You're going to most definitely continue living. And you're going to be okay. And you just have to tell yourself that every single day. And it's going to get better. It really does. Sometimes in relationships, like, you do see that end, but you feel like you can fix it so that that end doesn't come. Or you can prolong the relationship so that the end comes later rather than sooner. And a few notes on that. One, the moment that you have to convince somebody or explain to somebody on why they should love you or why they should stay is the moment that you know it's time for you to go. And I feel like I had to learn this the hard way. You should never, ever, 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 I don't care if you're married, I don't care if you've been with this person for a year, I don't care if you've been with this person for 3 months, I don't care if you've been with this person for 2 weeks, I don't care if you've been with this person for 20 years. You never, ever, ever have to explain to somebody why your love is worth it, why you're worth it, why they're worth you staying, why they need to stay with you. You never have to give somebody a 5-paragraph essay on the 5 reasons on why they love you, they need to love you, the 5 reasons on why you're a good woman, the 5 reasons on why you're a good man. You never, the moment that you have to do that, I'm sorry y'all, I'm getting hyped. You see me doing my makeup all fast, but that's something that's so near and dear to my heart. The moment that you have to do that is a moment where it's just, you just have to cut it. Hey, cut it. Cut it. But you just gotta cut the relationship.
Them bricks is way too high, you need to cut it. Your price is way too high, you need to cut it.
But no, for real, like, you need to cut that relationship because it's no longer benefiting you. It's no longer, you are worth way more than trying to convince somebody of why you're worth that way more. There's so many fish in the sea, y'all. There's so many fish in the sea, and even if there was a fish in the sea, you'll be better off by yourself. It's not worth the stress, it's not worth the hackle. The moment that you have to, I'm gonna keep repeating this because I really feel this, the moment that you have to explain to somebody why they need to stay with you. This is Fawn by LA Girl. I use that all the time, so y'all know. Is the moment that it's like you gotta say peace. You gotta dead the situation. And if you don't, taking this from experience, don't dead the situation, then the situation will inevitably be dead for you soon. And sometimes you have to be okay with being by yourself until you meet that person who's able to give you what you deserve. And it's easier said than done, especially like all these vlog channels on YouTube with the couples and everything. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I know that y'all might not agree with me, but I low-key want to be that poppin'. Like, I low-key want to do just so we can have a vlog channel. I know that sounds so bad, but that's really how I be feeling. Like, all those pranks, they're so cute. It's just like, Lord, send me somebody so we can have a cute ass vlog channel. Yes. Being in your 20s is all about being able to pick yourself up and move on. And I feel like that's what life is all about. Like, life is not always peaches and cream. There's always going to be something that you're dealing with that you don't want to have to deal with, that you wish you didn't have to deal with. But life gave it to you anyways, and you have to learn how to pick yourself up and move on and not be stuck, because you being stuck is just not good for you. It's not good for your situation. Side note, I'm about to put Sacha Buttercup under my eye and right here and on my forehead. With the willpower, and make sure that you have some good people by your side, like some good friends or whatever, you'll be able to get through it and conquer and survive. You'll be able to survive, child. These brushes are so soft. These are the Bistro brushes. I'll put the link down below in the description box if I look back at this video and remember. But I got a set of these from Amazon, and of course y'all already seen all the pretty colors. This one is my favorite, which is funny because you would think this one's my favorite because it's like a bronzy, you know, my chocolate melanin and be matching it. But this one right here, this purple color, that highlight is so freaking beautiful. I'm about to show y'all. I put it right here, and then I like to carry it up a little bit. And like, I know that looks ridiculous, like, girl, what is that? So I'll get like a fluffier brush and I'll blend that out. Do a contour as usual a little bit with the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette. It looks like this. Y'all seen this one too before. This contour shade is bomb. NYX Long Lasting Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I'm just gonna shake it a little bit and then I'm gonna spray. I actually should have gotten a bigger bottle of this because I use it all the time. I'm just gonna let that dry. I used to pat it in my face with a brush, but I don't do that anymore. I decided to do this gloss. I don't know if it's too much. I might change it after a while, but this is a NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Red Velvet. Okay, y'all, so I put my hair like away in this cute curly puff. So that's cute. But I just wanted to wrap up this video with a few last words. So basically, yeah, like I just want anybody out there that has gone through certain situations that I have been through to be able to get through these situations more smoother, if that's the right word, than I did. And so I just want to share a little bit about my experience and to tell any young woman, girl, boy who's out there and going through a tough breakup and feeling like it's the end of the world, to know that it's not, and that you'll get through it, and that there will come a day where you'll be able to see yourself as yourself again, that you'll be able to be happy and comfortable, and that, you know, like, some things don't take like a short amount of time, that for some people it takes longer than others, and that everybody's their own person. So never be dismayed because it may be taking you longer than your friend. That makes sense. But I just want to let you guys know that you're so worth it, you're so beautiful, you have a purpose in this world, that you're needed in this world, and that just because a person wasn't able to see your worth and wasn't able to see your beauty and how great of a person you are, doesn't devalue you as a person or make any of those things any less true. Yeah. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this chit chat. Get ready with me. If you guys want to see more videos like this, then please let me know. I really enjoyed it. I have so many life stories and experiences that I could share with y'all that we could talk about. If you would rather me do a talking video instead of doing it with like my makeup, let me know that. If you guys have been through similar breakups, or you guys understand what I'm talking about, leave some encouragement down below for like our fellow brothers and sisters who might be going through similar situations. Yeah, so leave your comments down below. I hope that you guys have a beautiful and blessed day, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.
Your way.